In the old neighborhood of the city, there was a small bookstore called Aleph Kitab. This shop was not only filled with books, but also had a mysterious atmosphere. The owner, Arif, was a young man who deeply loved books. Every day, he would open the store, dust off the books, and wait for customers. But that day, something unusual happened. As Arif was opening the shop in the morning, he found a letter under the door. There was no address on it, only his name. He opened the letter, and his eyes widened as he read the words. Arif, your life is in danger. If you want to stay safe, be in front of the old mosque at midnight. Don't tell anyone. Arif's heart pounded. Who had sent this letter? Was it a joke, or was there real danger? He was worried, but at the same time, curiosity filled his mind. He decided to go to the old mosque that night. At midnight, Arif stood in front of the mosque. The air was silent, and the moonlight gave the place an eerie glow. Suddenly, he heard footsteps behind him. He turned around and saw a girl dressed in a black veil. The girl spoke. Arif, thank you for coming. My name is Zainab, and I need your help. Arif was surprised. Who are you, and why do you need my help? Zainab took a deep breath and said, It's a long story, but in short, your father hid a secret that could put many lives in danger. That secret is inside an old book, and that book is in your store. Arif's heart raced. His father had passed away years ago, and he had never known about any such secret. What secret? He asked. Zainab replied, It's about an ancient treasure, but there's also a curse. If this secret falls into the wrong hands, it could cause great destruction. Arif decided to help Zainab. They both started searching for the book in the bookstore. After hours of searching, they finally found an old, dust-covered book with yellowed pages. Its title was Shadows of the Veil. As soon as Arif opened the book, an old map slipped out. Zainab gasped, This is it. This map will lead us to the treasure. But suddenly, the bookstore door burst open, and a group of armed men entered. One of them said, Give us the map, or your lives are in danger. Arif and Zainab quickly hid the map and escaped through the back door. They knew that their journey to find the treasure would be dangerous, but they were ready. They moved carefully through the dark alleys of the city and reached a safe place. There, they examined the map closely. It pointed to an ancient fortress located in a remote mountainous region. Zainab said, This fortress is where the treasure is hidden, but getting there won't be easy. We'll face many dangers. Arif gathered his courage and said, We can do this. We just need to trust each other. The next morning, they began their journey. They boarded an old bus heading toward the mountains. Along the way, they noticed several suspicious people who might have been following them, but Arif and Zainab managed to evade them with clever tactics. After several days of travel, they finally reached the fortress. It stood atop a high mountain, surrounded by dense forests. The fortress walls were old and crumbling, but it still had a strange aura. They searched for a way inside and eventually found a large hall. In the center of the hall stood an ancient throne, and behind it, strange symbols were carved into the wall. Zainab examined the symbols and said, These markings will lead us to the treasure. We just need to decipher them. Arif studied the symbols carefully and said, This is a puzzle. It means we need to find a key that will unlock the treasure's door. They began searching the fortress. Finally, they discovered a small chamber with an old chest inside. When they opened the chest, they found a key. Holding the key, they returned to the hall and noticed a small hole behind the throne. Arif inserted the key into the hole, and slowly, the wall began to move. Behind it was a dark passage leading downward. With their torches lit, Arif and Zainab stepped inside. The passage was long, but eventually, they reached a massive chamber filled with treasure gold coins, precious gems, and ancient artifacts beyond their imagination. But suddenly, they heard a voice behind them. Well done. You found the treasure for us. Arif and Zainab turned around and saw the same armed men standing there. Their leader, a powerful and dangerous man, smirked. The leader said, Now, this treasure belongs to us, and you two will not leave here alive. But before he could do anything, a strange wind started blowing in the chamber. At the center of the treasure, there was an old statue, and suddenly, it came to life. In a deep voice, the statue warned, Whoever touches this treasure will be cursed. The armed men were terrified and tried to run, but their leader, greedy for the treasure, grabbed a handful of gold. The moment he touched it, his body started to decay. He screamed in agony and collapsed to the ground. Arif and Zainab realized the curse was real. They decided to leave the treasure behind. They found their way out of the fortress and began their journey back to the city. On the way, Zainab said, "We've learned something important today. Treasure isn't always gold and silver. Sometimes the real treasure is friendship and courage." Arif smiled and replied, "You're absolutely right. We trusted each other and faced a great danger together. That's our true treasure." When they returned to the city, they decided never to reveal the secret to anyone. They went back to their normal lives, but the memories of their mysterious adventure remained in their hearts forever. This story is about friendship, courage, and the true meaning of treasure. Arif and Zainab not only discovered a hidden mystery, but also built a strong bond of trust. They learned that real treasure is not found in material wealth, but in the values of humanity and relationships.